welcome to another line of pretentious bullshit from me. Uh, I've read the book 1984 a couple times. It's fun. Why not? I can literally probably read off of a good half a page and bring to light what we have right now in our society. But this is just something dumb that I wrote previously. So as far as a sitting and listening to podcasts and not watching it as an actual entertainment value from YouTube, here's it. It's America's early audition for Big Brother, and why not? That's beautiful. So Orwell warned us about oppressive governments surveilling their citizens and controlling narratives. This has been going on for a while, and meanwhile, the United States was busy writing its own edition tape for Big Brother, complete with manifest destiny, slavery, and of course, the good old-fashioned propaganda. The parallels began early. Consider the Sedition Act of 1798. It essentially made it illegal to criticize the government. It's the same thing whenever you think about Iraq and Saddam Hussein. It's like, oh, Saddam Hussein is doing pow. You're dead. The book prophesies the thought police, those delightful folks who punish citizens for unapproved ideas. The Sedition Act wasn't exactly waterboarding people for wrong thing, but it laid the groundwork. So America's historical moments, McCarthyism, Contra-Pro, or more recently the Patriot Act, prove we've been rehearsing a totalitarian role longer than we care to admit. But let's not overlook how we've perfected doublespeak, one of Orwell's greatest inventions. Now, this is how many crazy decades ago this dude, it was one of his inventions. So, that fun linguistic gymnastics where war is peace, freedom is slavery, and ignorance is strength, blah, blah, blah. In 1984, the government used doublespeak to maintain control. Meanwhile, America called it imperialist adventures, spreading democracy. The good old America. Orwell would have rolled his eyes so hard he'd sprain something at this. So, enter the 2010s, Orwellian Renaissance, and the last decade has felt like one continuous adaptation of 1984. With a rotating cast of real-world players taking turns as Big Brother. Let's start with NSA surveillance. The NSA. In 2013, Edward Snowden's leak exposed a sprawling spy network straight out of Orwell's playbook. Metadata collection, phone taps, and email snooping. Suddenly, we all live under an all-seeing eye, just like in the book. Ironically, we didn't rage against this surveillance, rally around the family, pocket full of shows, like good old-fashioned 1990s rage against the machine. No, we didn't. Nope, we scrolled Twitter, shared memes, and debated which Kardashian was trending that day. Orwell imagined a future where we'd be too scared to resist it. Too scared or too stupid, too dumb to resist. The truth is sadder. We're just too distracted. Instead of Winston Smith in the main character of Oceana and all that against Big Brother, we got millions of people arguing about which Marvel movie has the best post-credit scheme. And if we look at what Marvel has offered to us, and even DC, the number one biggest fan is, of course, Iron Man. Yeah, why wouldn't it be? Let's all be fair about this and understand that it's not actually Iron Man, it's Tony Stark, the billionaire, playboy, philanthropist that we all, as a society, even young preteens and teens, idealize as what would be the greatest Avenger, because the greatest Avenger is not only the person who does the best, but my God, he's the dude that gets all the girls, has the new audience, but we just kind of go on. But why stop at surveillance? The decade also gave us the rise of alternative facts. Kellyanne Conway's infamous phrase during the Trump administration could have been ripped directly from Orwell. Alternative facts aren't just lies. They're weaponized truths designed to confuse you into submission. Like, no fucking shit. It's enough to say that 2 + 2 = 5 in the 21st century, but whenever you look at 1984's Orwellian approach, it's like, no, you can say that 2 + 2 = whatever gets the most clicks, or 2 + 2 = 4. Who's right? Does 2 + 2 = 4, or is hashtag 2 + 2 = 5 the trending aspect right now? But Orwell's Ministry of Truth rewrote history to serve the party's narrative, such as what we're going to sound extreme. No. When you consider the past decade of cultural battles over America's history, statues of Confederate generals toppled as society reckoned with its racist past. Well, racist past, without a doubt, were racist. Well, certain states scrambled to ban books that, Fahrenheit 491, another Orwellian prophecy that made people uncomfortable. Florida, for instance, seemed hell-bent on crafting a curriculum straight out of 1984, removing any mention of systemic racism. Both sides of the debate claimed more, well, why not? Oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. Progressives argued the confronting hard truths. Conservatives demanded we preserve history. Well, why not? Why would you not want white America to continue being white America? Are we fucking stupid? No. What's the ROI? What's the end state capitalism gain? It's white America. So, as the party declaring who controls the past controls the future, of course. But here's the kicker. In Orwell's world, people knew history. I remember reading it, and he discusses talking to an old man in a bar, and he's just so trying to get out of that old man, like, what was it like? What was it like? Do you remember a life previous to what we're going through? And of course, he just keeps drinking his beer and yada yada, but cancel the culture thrives in this environment, whether it's celebrities, politicians, or your cousin who made an offensive joke. Even me who says something wrong, someone is always the target. The difference between Orwell's dystopia and ours is in scale. In 1984, the party controlled the hate. Like, why not? If you, I just watched the movie, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I can't think of it right now. Wicked, I apologize. I just saw the movie Wicked, and within that, at the very end, Oz says something along the lines of, all you have to do to get people together is just give them a common enemy. And he did that so perfectly. So it doesn't require government intervention. Like, we all gleefully enforce it ourselves, ensuring that any dissent, real or imagined, is met with swift digital retribution. Like, if I were to put out right now, hey, does any of you douchebags driving a lifted, jacked up truck, or any of you hippies not eating meat have anything to say about this? Oh my God, of course you could. But in it, Orwell's Oceania exists in a state of perpetual war. Where have we been? Since I've been alive, I know that I myself have given a decade of my life, a quarter of my life right now, not even that. So, yeah, about a third of my life to the military industrial complex. I myself was a recruiter, and I have not looked, and I probably will never look, if any of the individuals who I enlisted into the Army died. Why the fuck would I do that? That would be terrible. But it's just the idea of its most chilling elements is the cult of Big Brother. Big Brother. A figure so omnipresent and revealed that dissent feels impossible. Like, it's the same thing with America's history, which with celebrity worship ensures we understand this dynamic all too well. From Ronald Reagan to Donald Trump, we've evaluated individuals into near mythic figures. Now, the past decade gave us a carousel of many Big Brothers, each commanding legions of loyal followers. Social media amplifies this dynamic, blah, 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 blah. We're all fucking tuning in, turning politicians, CEOs, and influencers into de facto demigods. Like, let's not say anything past the fact of this most recent election was nothing more than what's the most popular. Why the hell shouldn't it be? We're all going to shit. Let's make better for ourselves. Yada yada. Selfishness. But it was the same thing as Orwell imagined, a world where propaganda forced us to worship Big Brother. Like everything about this past election was hate these people and vote for me. Like, fucking, are you kidding me? Do you not honestly believe that the entire concept of this previous election was hate these other people, vote for me? And I understand it. Everyone understands it because that's the way the voting happened. And the most depressing parallel between 1984 and modern America is the lack of rebellion. In that Winston's, in the book, failed attempt to resist Big Brother ends in soul-crushing defeat. He tries, he has his little journal, and he writes, and it's kind of funny, and whenever you look at what Fahrenheit 491 was, they also had a precarious journal that was only for them. All of them, we don't need Room 101 to break our spirits. We have student loan debt, skyrocketing rent and climate. We have all the other bullshit that takes us from, which in 1984, the book, people feared the state. In America, we fear irrelevance. We document our lives on Instagram, such as I'm doing here, and trying to make it from YouTube, Instagram, X, Facebook, .coms, blah, 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 fucking blah. And if Orwell's vision was a warning, we've turned it into a user manual, complete with notifications and in-app purchases. Like, that takes me on to, I will have another one complete for what would be the intangibles that I go through with my kids. But what does this leave us? Orwell didn't write 1984 as a prediction, like he did. Like, how? Like, let's talk crazy. Like, what is going on? America hasn't become Oceania yet, but my God, if history is cynical and satire is prophecy, then the next decade will probably feature even more Orwellian absurdities. Perhaps we'll get a government mandated. TikTok doesn't even warn anymore. That's how crazy this goes. Because what we're discussing right now will change in 15 seconds. TikTok is on its decline right now, where Big Brother America is saying, hey, take this shit down or sell it. And you know what? I have another writing about that. I'll do one later on both sides of that, whereas like America, yeah, we're like, get the Chinese out of everything. And from the objective point of view. What? No, all of your kids and everyone else are idiots and absolutely enjoy everything we're doing, and we will just, geopolitically divide what we can with an app that is based off of people being fucking stupid. And one of those things, this is perfect. If you want a picture of the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. That's crazy. In America, that boot will probably be this is crazy. I have a Nike swoosh and a cost of $199, but that's where it goes, because more than a dystopian novel, it's a mirror, a warning, and sometimes an unwelcome reminder that humanity has a troubling knack for turning fiction into reality. Why wouldn't we? Our fucking lives suck so much. Why wouldn't we try to imagine something better? And this tale of totalitarianism was meant as a warning against unchecked power, but we've already given up that power. A lot of us are going to work every day, working that 40 hour. You know what? And there's people, let's talk about individuals who come off of a more blue collar, small town feel, where it's the local HVAC unit, the local body shop, brake shop, all of the services that individuals within a 20-mile radius would ever want. And that's where right now everyone else is taking over. People want to get upset and pissed off about what's going on with CEOs. However, within your own little towns, in your own little villages, there are their very own CEOs. They're the peoples who control everything. Like, imagine going to work and let's just say the village of Bolivar. Imagine going to work in the village of Bolivar as a member of what is the HVAC, and can't even say HVAC because there's not many in there. Oh yeah, there are. Yeah, there are. So within that HVAC unit, and then there's also a body shop and a brake shop. There's a non-billionaire formed insurance company right down there off of downtown Bolivar. But realistically, what are they even got going on anymore? They're just clinging to whatever. I think I just saw something about their individual the other day, whatever, saying something different. Something had to change, blah, 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 blah. He actually had to get involved in social media. But you take all those other ones who have that lineage there. They've had a construction company. What is it? God. I think there's even there's a tent company down in downtown. So going off of that, it's still the same concept of what we give into. Whenever you have something going on and your business is controlled by an individual, that individual may or not be good at maintaining a business or service, but they might come down to the idea where, hey, I have these 30 plus employees that I just, Merry Christmas, here's $100 whatever. So that 20 individuals times $100 is a $2,000 write-off. You getting anything from your employer is a write-off for that employer. You're not getting it because they're the best and they take care of their employees. Yes, it is kind of neat to take care of your employees while having a write off. However, that's where we're most looking at it today. It's one of those things where we're perfecting the art of propaganda. World War One saw the birth of the Committee on Public Information. They essentially turned the government into a giant PR firm, churning out pro-war messages. The committee's work paved the way for the future government manipulation. That's basically it. I've been told the entire thing throughout most of my life as I've been psyop and such, but it was where we're at right now. There's what is the NSA surveillance, sorry, phone records, Patriot Act, all of that. We're all like, oh my God, yeah, we want the bad guys listened into, but not me, not in my backyard kind of thing. But it's it goes back to again with alternative facts. When Kellyanne Conway coined the term during the Trump administration, it felt like doublespeak had entered the American lexicon. Orwell's party used doublespeak to manipulate truth and control their population. In America, we don't need a ministry of truth. We have 24-hour news networks. And one of the things that I'm going off of right now is just 100% an ability to control the media, control the message. And it's the idea that in 1984, it's the party's ability to rewrite history. As I said, he's Winston's trying to talk to the old guy at the bar, like trying to get out of him, hey, what's going on with, do you remember life previous to this bullshit? And of course, he just keeps drinking. But, in 1984, the party organizes daily sessions of the 2 minutes of hate. It like, are you effing kidding me? It's the same thing as what we have right now in society on social media. It's like, blah, 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 blah. I hate this person. Well, if you hate this person, then that person hates you. And it ultimately goes into what Orwell's imagined as a grotesque display of state-controlled emotion. Why are you mad at somebody who you have never met before? Possibly because the government is telling you to. And he ultimately feared a world where dissent was crushed by force. It's the same thing as rising up against in modern America. Dissent is drowned out by noise. It's just noise and BS. But it's the same thing where our country has been at war for a very, very long time. And then the idea is what I went through as even a soldier and being young and impressionable as a United States soldier post 9/11, where it's like, oh my God, yes, we're going to fucking take down the bad guys. Fuck them. I lied to myself and I lied to so many people, expressing the idea that if the bad guys are attacking me and my friends across the big old lake from you guys, then they're not attacking you, as what we've seen sadly before. But the scariest part, we're not fighting back. We're too busy scrolling, shopping, and arguing over everything. Or if we could see it, it's just the idea that nothing else more has been beneficial to us. It's the same idea where if you are able to take someone's attention and make them look at something dumb. Imagine being able to tell someone, look at this square, this black square on a white wall. If you look at this, everything will be better. And you just keep them dumb enough to continue looking at whatever you want them to look at, and they will never be able to revolt. Thank you very much. This was fun for my second video.